Hello children, in this video I'll introduce you to Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is an electronic spreadsheet software. It lets us enter, calculate, manipulate and analyze our data. A spreadsheet is a software program and a worksheet is a work file created by the spreadsheet software. So now let's first look at the definitions of the components of the Microsoft Excel opening screen. Now, when you open Microsoft Excel, in the window you will find a worksheet. What is a worksheet? A worksheet is a grid of cells. It is made up of horizontal rows and vertical columns. By default, if you're working with Excel 2007, by default, you'll find there are 3 worksheets in the workbook. And what is a workbook? A workbook is a file having multiple worksheets. Okay, so when you open Microsoft Excel, you get a file that is called as a workbook. Inside that workbook, you'll find multiple worksheets. On the worksheet, you'll find row numbers. These row numbers are unique numbers which identifies a row. A row number starts from 1 and goes on as 2, 3, 4. Okay. Apart from row number, you can find column letters as well in the worksheet. The column letter gives a unique identification to the column. A column letter starts from A. You can find these letters placed above each column. So, starting from the beginning, the first column name is A, second will be B, then C, D, and this way it will go on till Z. After Z, it will start with AA, AB, till AZ, then BA. This way, the series continues till the last column. Now, a row and a column intersect at a place. They intersect at a cell. So, a cell is formed by the intersection of a column and a row. A cell is a unit of worksheet where numbers, descriptive text and formulas can be placed. You can enter numbers, descriptive text and formulas in a cell. The intersection of a column and a row gives a cell a unique address. So, a cell can be identified by the column letter and the row number. For example, H5. This is the name of a cell which is formed by intersection of column H and row 5. When you select a cell, you'll find a cell boundary around the cell. So, a cell boundary specifies which cell is active at that moment. And that active cell is called as current cell. So, whichever cell has a cell pointer, that cell is the current cell. And whenever you enter any entry, any data, a number or a formula or text, that will be entered in this current cell. When we are selecting number of cells, those cells are called as range of cells. So, a range of cells is a group of contiguous cells that form a rectangular area in shape. Hence, a range is specified by giving the address of the first cell in the range and the last cell in the range. In this example, you can see how it is given. A range of cell C3 colon F3. So C3 over here is the first cell of the range and F3 over here is the last cell of the range. Now let's see the screen of the Microsoft Excel. Now this is the window of Microsoft Excel 2007. The major difference between 2007 version and 2010 version is this button. This is called as the Microsoft Office button. In 2010, you won't find this Microsoft Office button. Instead of this, you'll find the File menu. Rest these tabs you'll see in Microsoft Excel 2010 as well. This is the window screen of Microsoft Excel 2010. Can you see the top left corner? In 2007, here there was Microsoft Office button. But in place of that Office button, you will find this File menu over here. If you click on File menu, you can get a menu like this for file operation. Apart from this, there are various tabs over here, such as Home tab, Insert tab, Page layout, Formula, Data, Review, View. Okay. So the toolbars are automatically placed as tabs at the top of the screen. Within these tabs, you'll find all your options to change the text. Now these are the column labels. Column A, B, C, D, so on. And these are the row numbers. Row 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Now if I select a range of cells, this is the range I've selected, suppose. So my first cell is A4 and the last cell is D7. The first cell is the top left cell and the last cell is the bottom right cell. So if I have to write the range of cell, I'll write A4 colon D7, where colon is the range indicator. Now, if you want to start preparing a table in this worksheet, student, I'll suggest you always start from the top left corner. I've seen students, they start from the center. Whenever they want to start typing, they want to prepare a table, they start from the center, anywhere from any position. But I will always advise you to start from the top left corner. Suppose I want to make a mark sheet. So I'll need a column of names. So I'll type here, press the tab key to go to the next cell. Now I want to type the marks of English subject. So I'll put English as the heading. The next subject, suppose maths. In this way you can keep on adding column names. Okay, these are the headers of the table. And below this name column you can write the names of students over here. Similarly, you can enter marks in English over here, enter marks in maths in this column. So this way you can create a table. Now see, when I am selecting a cell, my cell pointer appears over here. Can you see? And what is the name of this cell? This cell name will be, first you have to write the column letter C and the row number is 3. So by intersecting column C and row 3, this cell is formed. So the name of this cell is C3. You can see the name in this name box as well. Whichever cell you select, you can see the name of that cell in this cell box. Suppose if you want to go to a particular cell, you can as well type the name of the cell. Suppose I want to go to L9 cell. So I'll write L9 over here and press enter key. The cell pointer is placed in the L9 cell. Okay. Now this is the formula bar. Whatever you type inside a cell will be reflected here. Suppose if I have typed maths over here, if I click on this cell, can you see? Wherever your cell pointer is, the cell content will be shown in this formula bar. If the cell contains a text, it will show a text over here. If a cell contains a number, suppose here I am typing number, so it will show you a number. If a cell contains a formula, of course formula I will be teaching you in detail later on. So if I write a formula over here equal to B5, this is which row? Fourth row, so I will take this B4 cell, B4 plus C4. Okay. So this is the formula. I press enter key. See, it has calculated B4. There is nothing in B4, but so it will consider at 0, and in C4 it is 34. So it's adding and giving the result here. So when I click this 34 over here in the formula bar, I can see 34 because I have entered 34 directly. But in this cell I have entered a formula. So that formula is reflected in this formula bar, whereas in the cell you can see the result of the calculation of that formula. Okay, children? So that's all for the introduction. Thank you, children.